right? Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful that got them pushing this word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Dash pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into this morning, we're dealing with the book of 1 Corinthians 15 and 57, and just rejoicing in victory, man. We should have a rejoicing spirit in the victory that we have promised in the scriptures, man. As we look out into what's happening, you look out into the earth, man, the Heavenly Father is doing everything that He said He was going to do, because as we teach this word, and we become more familiar with prophecy, more familiar with Yahweh Shai, and then we see these things happening, man, we should be rejoicing, in victory, man. We got a victory over this thing, man. There's a remnant that the Lord predestined to have a victory, man. And it's a great chance we could be part of that remnant if we continue. It's not a thing of easing up, with rejoicing in victory, really. Because the best way to rejoice is to double down. Understanding that we got the victory, let's double down. Tap into the spirit. Do double down in the things that's pleasing to our power, man. As we go down the stretch. Okay? Because the victory is guaranteed. Okay, the Lord is doing everything that He said He was going to do, man. All right, and Esau, he's subjugated to do what the Lord, want him to do, man. Okay, the fact that we see Esau doing exactly what the Lord said He would do, man, that's victory, man. Okay, because the Lord has a victory, in the making for His people. You see, 1 Corinthians 15 and 57 says, but thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us victory, through our Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. And through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, man, now, we have the ability to be pardoned. We have the ability to have grace and mercy in these last days. We have this understanding. We're able to be pleasing to our power. We're able to be reconciled to the Most High through the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, man. And we believe in that sacrifice, by our works, man, by our faith and our works, because we do the works based on our faith, so we show our belief to Yahweh Shai, man, by our actions, man, because faith is action. Faith is not a expression, no, it's an action, it's a lifestyle, it's a belief system, you see, and we believe in that victory, man. We believe that Yahweh Shai is coming to wage war of righteousness and win. You see? And it says, therefore, my beloved brethren, it says, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. You see that? Abounding in this thing, man. What else is it, to be, what else is it to be occupied in? What else is it to be obsessed with other than the victory that's in Yahweh Shai, man? Yahweh Shai coming to take down the militaries of the earth, literally, man. To remove the enchantments of Esau, Edom out the earth, man. Okay? To remove all these heathen governments, from power. Okay, what else should we be obsessed with, man? Then He's going to put His brethren in power, man. He's going to put His people in power. You see? The Yahweh Shai finna distribute the earth unto His men that held them down, man. Okay? So why shouldn't we be in the rejoicing spirit as we see these things happening, man? We up. We got to remember, we up, man. No matter down the scoreboard in our life, man. You look at prophecy, we up. Things might not be going perfect in our life, man. You have setbacks and, particular things and disappointments or whatever. But when you look on the scoreboard of prophecy, we up. Okay? We up, man. And unless we start caring about this age and this life, man, we really it's hard not to be in the spirit of rejoicing, man. You know, cause this shit here gonna be what it's gonna be. You know, the day for day here, man. But what Yahweh Shai doing, he's setting up a play where we win forever. Okay, we gonna go through ups and downs in the midst of our day to day life, man. But you look at prophecy, man. We on a steady incline. Things are steady working in our favor, man. We up. You gotta see that. Hey, we really gotta look at the prophetic scoreboard, and we up. Okay, and it's getting worse. Okay, Esau is only getting more attackier, man. You know, more desperate. This is 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord, yeah, your labor is not in vain. Our labor is not in vain. You know, we're not just moving, just to go through the motion. No, man, we're laboring for a victory, man. We want to be part of this victory, man. We should be intentional in how we're moving, why we're moving, man. Nah, man, we're here for the victory, man. We're here to overcome. With Yahweh Shai, man. You see? We're here to overcome with our great King. You see? So when you read again, it says, for as much as you know that your labor, okay, is not in vain in the Lord, man, because Yahweh Shai, he's going to reward his men. You see? And the reward of Yahweh Shai, this age can't even begin, to try to give us that, man, because they don't have the power to do it. This age doesn't have the power to give us and reward us like Yahweh Shai is finna reward us, man. And we don't want nothing of this age anyway. We don't want nothing within this age. Because part of our reward is this age being destroyed. That's part of the reward. So this age ain't going to destroy itself for us, man. Okay, Esau trying to establish, a whole nother age, man. A digital age. You see, nah, man. Yahweh Shai is coming to tear this thing down once and for all. Okay? So let's go from there. You get this in the book of Isaiah chapter 25. All right, just the book of Isaiah 25:8. It says, he will swallow up death and victory, and the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people he shall take away off all the earth. All right, for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai have spoken it, man. So the Lord is going to swallow up death and victory, man. We're going to be changed. We're going to have victory over death, man. We're finna be changed into immortals at the return of Yahweh Shai. And all these events are pointing towards the return of Yahweh Shai, man. So we're even going to have victory over death, man. Death is not going to be a thing for us anymore, man. Okay, we're finna overcome death forever. You see? We're finally finna get the fulfillment of being the sons of God by taking on the glory of immortality, man. You see? This is what we got awaiting. And it's close, man. We close, man. It's not only living forever, but living forever in righteousness, man. The earth being ran in righteousness forever, man. Okay? So Yahweh Shai, when he comes, man, he's going to swallow up death and victory. You see? And he already conquered death in the flesh. So now, all right, he's coming to establish that amongst the elect, man. Okay? So let's go from there. See, we have a victory, man. And the victory is playing out. You see, the victory is already playing out. The Most High plan for our victory is already playing out, man. And Esau falling into every trap. Okay, that's set for him. He's falling into every trap, man. The fact that he, has engaged, all right, into war with Iran, which is going to lead to a global war. Okay, the fact that he's trying to establish the New World Order when he's going to mandate his MOTB, okay, which is his death certificate. Okay, but he's so ambitious he has to do it. So the Most High, through Yahweh Shah, set that nigga up to fall in every trap. All right. And we're going to get the victory as this nigga keep falling into these traps, man. Okay. So let's go here. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 15, verse 1. It says, "And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire." Because that last plague gonna be the missiles, which that 7 plague, that's gonna be the complete destruction. Okay, that's gonna be the completion of the Lord's wrath, those missiles. Okay, in America, man. Okay, I'm gonna turn this place to what? A desert, an uninhabited desert. Okay, it says, "And I saw it as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory," you see that? "And them that had gotten the victory over the beast," those that didn't give, those that even lost their life for not bending the knee, okay, for not taking this sea hill, man, refusing this, man, and cleaving to Yahweh Shah. There's a victory for cleaving to Yahweh Shah, man. Those that were persecuted and didn't fold, okay, those that, had to be martyrs, didn't shy away from it, okay, those that, that trusted during the time of tribulation and, endured. Hey, that's a victory for all that, man. Everything we finna go through, there's a victory for it on the other side. Okay? So there's a remnant that's predestined to have a victory over this beast, man. We just gotta believe. There's a great chance we could be part of that remnant, man. And it says, "And them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over his number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High." And the sea of glass is being in that over the atmosphere, looking through the atmosphere, looking at America burn. It's gonna look like fire in a glass bottle, man. At their view from the chariot, way up above the atmosphere, looking through the atmosphere, man. Because it's gonna look like that. The fire is being contained, by a glass bottle, man. Okay? And it says, "And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord power almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints." Okay? Thou King of saints, man, Yahweh Shai. You see? So we're going to be singing and rejoicing on the chariot as this place, okay, has just received its judgment, man, has been ignited. The Lord's wrath is going to ignite America into a lake of fire. Okay? And there's nothing that this devil can do to stop that victory. And there's nothing this devil can do to stop his fall. Okay? Let's go here to the book of, let's go 2nd Esdras, 2nd Esdras 7. It's 2nd Esdras 7 and 43. It said, "But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past." Yeah, so the day of doom. Okay, the day of heavy judgment, man, where the Lord is going to shake the earth to and fro, judging this world, man, beginning with Esau, man. Okay, so the day of doom is at hand, man, and we should be rejoicing. This place needs doom. The only thing that makes sense, okay, in this current age and all this shit Esau got going on and all this corruption and how this man just has turned the earth out, man. The only thing that makes sense, man, is the judgment written in the scriptures, man. Thermonuclear destruction and the fire from the chariots, man. The day of doom. Okay? There needs to be a massive, massive reset in the earth, man, in righteousness, man. Okay, not digital. That digital shit is over. Okay, that's being destroyed at the return of Yahweh. All right, verse 44. And temperance is at the end, which is undisciplined. Infidelity, which is unbelief, is cut off. Righteousness is grown up and truth is sprung up. Yeah, man. So the times we're coming, hey, the Lord finna make everyone a believer at the end of this thing. Your judgment, for you Israelites, the prophets couldn't, okay, provoke you to believe through teaching. Well, the Lord's gonna provoke belief through judgment. Okay, so infidelity and unbelief gonna be cut off. Okay, this world, this age of undiscipline, that's gonna be cut off. You see, verse 45. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that have gotten the victory, man. You see, so that these devils can't suppress the victory we got coming. Okay, and no one can, and Esau can't stop himself from being destroyed for losing. Esau can't stop himself from losing. He can't stop us from winning, man. Okay, thus said the Lord, man. You see, so we should be in the spirit of rejoicing because of the victory, the mighty works of the Lord that we're seeing happening in the earth, man. So that was the point. Lord will. All right, you brothers. All right, and you few sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the whole flock. Shalom.